Alrighty, everybody, welcome back to another video. Today's day number 63 out of 100 videos in 100 days. Today's going to be a little bit of a ramble, might be a little bit all over the place. Just going to be fully transparent. My motivation to continue to do these is like a roller coaster right now. Some days I'm like very motivated, get them out of the way, bang them out. Some days I'm like today, I am like forcing my hand and I'm pushing myself to do these because as I've mentioned throughout this series, it's been less about maybe growing on YouTube or getting a bunch of views on YouTube and more of like me creating a consistent habit and squashing any excuses around why I can't do YouTube videos uh, and basically eliminate those, right? Because realistically, we've been wanting to mix in YouTube for a while, but I always end up putting it on the back burner. So I'm kind of just trying to trick myself into getting it out of the way, just posting something, creating a video, shooting a video. Because even though I've built a 7-figure business, there's still challenges. There's still, we make excuses or we delay things in business. Like, oh, I could do the video tomorrow, and then next thing you know, it's been 3 weeks and you haven't done a video. So now that we got that out of the way, yeah, I'm going to kind of riff on an actual post that I wrote today. I dropped this over on my profile. And I think it can yield a really good lesson for a lot of different people, especially if you're like in the earlier stages of business. Maybe you haven't really started to significantly start making money yet. You haven't like consistently started making money online yet. Because I know that's a big part of it, right? Like if we get to a couple $1,000s a month, like how do we take that to 10? How do we like continue? And then how do we keep that 10 for, the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years instead of like making little bits of money here and there and never actually having success or consistent enough success to like leave your jobs, buy a house, whatever your game plan is. But consistency of the income is a whole nother ball game that I haven't really talked about a lot. And obviously it does fluctuate from time to time. We've fluctuated between $20,000 and $80,000 a month for the last 2 years, right? So it's not always set in stone, which is also why earlier in the last couple of years we put a bigger emphasis on monthly recurring revenue, so that way it kind of just compounds and continuously builds versus starting every month at zero. All right, so it's going to be a bit of a ramble, but at the end of the day, I want to give you guys some context around who I am, how long I've been playing this game. I started my online business in 2018, probably late 2018, and a lot of people are sold on this idea of overnight success stories, like oh, I was a brand new beginner and I made all this money like really fast and all this type of stuff, and there's not lack of people on the internet that will tell you that type of stuff. But I don't have a shiny story, right? I don't have a shiny story building my online business, right? I spent 3 years buying every course, buying all these products, doing all these different things, getting fucking nowhere in my business, mind you. Like literally just chasing my own tail, going in circles, wondering why the next person was getting more results than me. And I've changed my business 18 times in the last 4 minutes. And like, I was never playing the game long enough, right? And for context, I didn't know shit about online business before I started, right? I come from a very dysfunctional household. Parents are addicts. Mom was in and out of jail. Never met my real dad. Met him like once or twice in my entire life. Like he's on drugs, whatever. Like I come from a very dysfunctional upbringing, right? So I was notorious for self-sabotaging myself when I was growing up. And I would always tell myself like things like, oh, I'm not going to be able to have a different life, or I'm going to just be able to like, this is just enough. Like, constantly putting myself in this box of not being able to be any different than my family or anything like that, because that's all I was raised in. I ended up going to a trade school for construction, learning how to like land a gig at an apprenticeship. Fast forward some years later, I just got sober. My daughter was recently born, and I was kind of just like over it. Like there was this really weird feeling in my life where, I was living this one style of lifestyle. I was hanging out with all the delinquents, being a hoodlum or whatever you want to call it. And I got sober and I started, checking the boxes that adults do. Like they get jobs and they do this and they do that. And I always had this creeping feeling, like it was so surreal because everybody was like congratulating me for doing what I was supposed to be doing, which doesn't really merit any congratulations because everybody should just be a human. But like it was the weirdest feeling. Like this is what people are chasing, like just enough, barely enough to pay my bills. No time, like for my newborn daughter, like single dad working and like not even missing my daughter crawling or speaking for the first time because I'm working this fucking minimum wage job. So it was a weird time in my life, right? It was a weird feeling. So that's kind of where the online business interest started getting sparked, right? Late night scrolling. I came across a Facebook ad. I think it was about drop shipping or whatever. And quickly ended up investing into, another program around doing Amazon FBA, right? And this is kind of where the problem started with my business, is because a lot of marketers will paint this picture of quick, easy money, like all you got to do is do this and then you're going to be a millionaire. And you know I was sold on the idea of quick and easy, like quick finances, all this stuff, like false expectations. And at the time I didn't know I was about to embark on a journey that would last a very long time, and is the game I play to this day. But I was extremely enamored with the easy money, and for this reason, I was stuck. I stayed stuck for years. I remember my first $1,000 investment into the Amazon FBA course. I didn't even make it halfway through the program, and I was off buying another $1,000 program, right? Teaching me something completely different. It was probably 90 days, and I've already bought 17 different products, different tactics, different strategies, looking for the quickest, easiest way for me to actually start making money. And none of it fucking worked. And that's not because of the tactic or the strategy or the process was broken. It was fucking me. It was my expectations around buying that thing. And then my focus around that thing didn't last long enough for me to actually build any substantial momentum in any of it. Right? Like the one thing that I actually made a slight commitment to was the social media marketing agency. Right? I was cold calling businesses off of Yelp. I was getting them to let me run their ads for them and all this type of stuff. But I'd never ran a business before. So it was like I landed a couple clients and then I stopped trying to acquire clients. And then when I lost them, I had no money coming in. And then I started really playing into done for you affiliate marketing, running ads to businesses in a box, rebranded products, all this shit. And I was under this blanket of the more money I spent, the more money I would make. And I could tell you for a fact that that's not the truth, because I ended up having to go get a job because I racked up credit card debt, running Facebook ads to this business, following their templates and their resources and their plug and play stuff. And like none of it worked. Okay. And I was spending a bunch of money on it. And I'm not creating this video to take shots at anything or talk about the problems in certain processes, because at the end of the day, the thing that was wrong with all of it was my expectations. Okay, my mindset. All right, I was under this notion that I would turn on an ad and make money. I would set up an automation, I would build out a funnel, and it would change all my life, and like all this different shit. Like, and it's not fucking real. Right? If you want to build a business online, it's going to be a lot of work. Like, if you want simple, easy, quick money, go get a job. And I know that sounds fucked up, but that's just the reality of it. But there's people on the internet right now that will gladly take your money on the premise of you having a simple, quick, easy business that you don't ever have to do this. You don't ever have to talk to people. You can automate all of it. It's completely passive, and it's not going to be, right? You're going to have to do some work. It's a business. You're building a business. And I don't care if you're an affiliate, you're promoting someone else's product, you're a part of something, there is going to be work required. More work than you probably expect. Right? Like, I've been posting some form of content for years around one program, one product, intentional focus around getting people into one of our main offers, Group Juice, for years. And the problem with this is this: if we don't fix the problem with the mindset, is it literally keeps people going in circles and stuck, right? Because every time that I didn't make a bunch of money, or every time that I potentially did something and it didn't work out in 15 minutes, I was off looking for the next best thing. And I would just continuously go in this loop of doing this over and over and over again. I'd go buy this new program. I'd go buy this new product because it had this tactic that was going to help me. And then I would just go in circles. Like, I did this on repeat for years until I finally got sick of it. I got sick of chasing my own tail. and watching other people build successful businesses and people that started after me doing hundreds of thousands of dollars because they were focused, right? And they were focusing on the right stuff. And I'm not creating this video to like, you know, tell you you're doing anything wrong or anything like that. I'm creating this simply to shed light on a part of my journey that I probably don't talk about enough because it's a very real thing. Like, this isn't a marketing angle that I use talking about, hey, I struggled for years. Like, I literally struggled for years. I've bought, you know, every course under the sun for years, plug and play, done for you, Facebook ads, solo ads, like everything. Okay. And none of it ended up working until the stuff that I'm actually doing today, right? Which I actually discovered by accident by selling an affiliate product. I have conviction in the thing that I do because it's the very thing that I do even to this day in my own business, but it's the only thing that actually really worked for me. So eventually when I got sick of it, I told myself, like, I remember telling myself that I was going to be committing to it. Like, this was going to be my last try, my last hurrah. I was working at a gummy bear factory at the time. I fucking hated my job. I was making minimum wage. It sucked. And there was this opportunity for me to invest $3,000 in a program, and I was nervous because, like, hey, that's all of my monthly income, basically more than my monthly income. But I committed to it. I was like, if I'm gonna do this thing, this is it. This is the only thing that I'm going to do for the next 12 months. And do you guys want to take any guesses at what happened at the end of those 12 months? I stopped doing YouTube videos. I stopped doing blog posts. I stopped trying to do 17 different things in business. It was like, hey, I'm going to do these 3 things for the next 12 months. And that's it. It's the only things I'm doing in business, period. I don't care if a new product comes up, new mentor, new opportunity. I'm going to focus and do this. I went from almost 0 results the year prior. The years prior, in the red, completely in the red, right? Like, very in the red, negative. Investments, courses, programs, ads, etc., to doing 100K as an affiliate. And this is the thing. Most people want this. They want the money. They want the sales. They want the life. They want all this different stuff, but they're not actually ready to play the game or willing to play the game, right? And when the game doesn't work in 15 minutes, they're off doing the next best thing, right? And I know this video, some of you guys might not even be watching this by now, but I know I can sound like I'm coming across as a dick, but like, I wish that I could fix this problem in so many people's business because it literally keeps so many people stuck, going in circles, never getting results, never actually doing $100,000 online, never replacing their job's income because they just chase this. Just go in circles, go in loops. And that's it until they eventually burn out and quit. All right? Why would you continue to show up in your business if you're not getting all this money and you're not doing all these things and you've been doing it for 12 months and you haven't made sales? Okay, but how many times in the last 12 months have you changed your business? How many times in the last 12 months have you tried to master all of these different things without ever even getting good enough to make one thing work? Now, this is a big reason why we're the polar opposite of what you'll see in the market a lot, right? We're not here to promise folks rags to riches. We're not here to promise you copy and paste, done for you, plug and play shit, or that you're gonna just make a bunch of money in the easiest way, simplest way possible. Like, it's a magic money button, because a lot of people in the market will promise you that, right? They're a dime a dozen. Got people all over the internet that will promise you that, sell you something and probably ghost you afterwards. But we want to set realistic expectations up front, right? That way, if you do come buy one of our offers, you kind of already know. You already understand. You already understand that, hey, this is a long-term thing. And if you're not ready to play long-term, then maybe go with somebody else, right? And the thing that I will leave you guys on is like, I want to challenge you to commit to something, to anything for longer. And I know I'll probably sound like I'm beating off a dead horse because I say this all the time, right? Commit to your thing, commit to your process, your mentor, your program for longer, right? If that means if you just bought something else, you just bought into a mentor, like, don't fucking come buy my thing. Or vice versa. If you just joined something of ours, don't go buy something else to try to, like, you know, replace the business, like, immediately, right? Like, commit. Pick your thing, pick your model, pick your process, and improve inside of that model and process for a minimum of 6 months. And I know that's an extremely hard thing to do in this ever evolving online space. You got new programs popping up, you got new opportunities popping up every other night. But you literally need to start putting your blinders on and focus on the thing that you want to do. Right? Hey, I want to grow a YouTube channel. Well, then we need to like make that the core focus of what we're doing. Hey, I want to grow a group. Well, then we need to do everything in our power to start growing a group. When it doesn't work in 15 minutes, don't burn down the business or replace the business that you want to build, but instead look at how you can improve. A lot of people continuously just replace everything in their business in hopes of finding that magic, thing that's going to work for them. But realistically, you have to like improve in the thing until it starts working. Because even if you go replace the business over here, like you're just going to run into the same exact problems. Like I've seen people change their business because they weren't generating leads over here, and then they come over here and they're still not generating leads because you didn't actually fix the problem. And just a little bit of a throwback picture of when I was on a roof. I know this video is probably not going to perform well, and that's completely fine. It might come across like I'm being a dick or anything like that, but it's something that I really wish somebody would have punched me in the face with when I was first starting. Like, hey, what are you doing? Like, why are you doing this? Like, focus. Put your blinders on and do something for longer. Okay? And that doesn't just mean like repeat the same thing over and over again and expect different results. Like test and tweak inside of the model or the process you're using. Or let's say you go invest in a mentorship program from somebody, fucking listen to what they tell you to do or follow the plan that they create for you. Like, why would you not? Right? And that's the problem a lot of people end up running into, and I run into myself for years, right? Like I would not do the process, pick one piece out of it, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to do that. Like, oh, I shouldn't have to talk to people. Like, I don't want to DM people. Like, I talk to people every single day, and I run a 7-figure business. I talk to people myself, right? So like, trying to exit a business before you have a business, right? A bit of a ramble. Like, just commit to something, focus on something, and like show up for yourself. Get better at that thing, improve at that thing, continue to do it over the next span of time, because that's where the shit really ends up happening and working. But if you're brand new to online business, you're probably not even going to understand half of the shit for 90 days. You're not even going to know how the things actually work for 90 days. Like, you're not making 50 grand in 90 days as a brand new beginner, right? Like, it's simple, but it's not that easy. Okay? And anybody telling you that it's just a simple make a bunch of money, you just send people to your link and you make all these sales, like it's yeah. That's how I feel about that. Anyways, I'm off to go be an asshole to somebody else. You guys have a kick-ass weekend, and I will see you tomorrow.